For 5 centuries, Leonardo da Vinci's appearance has been a never-ending subject of controversy. We know that the artist was born in Vinci, the Tuscan village that gave him his name. But his contemporaries left very few descriptions. The first biographies, written by Paolo Giovio, the anonymous Malia Becchiano, or Giorgio Vasari, are from the 16th century.
The only written descriptions we have of Leonardo da Vinci sadly come from people who had never met him, and in fact come from decades after his death. They're unanimous about how handsome he is, how he had long hair, how he had a beautiful curled beard, how he dressed incredibly well.
The portrait in red chalk represents the artist with the features of an impenetrable old man. Until recently, it was considered to be the artist's only true self-portrait. This was the official representation of Leonardo's face. But a few years ago, it was discovered that this sketch was from around the 1490s, when Leonardo was only 30 years old. This cast doubt on the identity of the sitter. There remains the Windsor drawing. This profile portrait from around 1515 by Giovanni Francesco Melzi is the only pictorial evidence of Leonardo's appearance that hasn't been challenged. Leonardo da Vinci met Melzi in 1508. The young aristocrat from Milan wanted to learn to paint. The artist welcomed him as an apprentice in his workshop. Melzi stayed by his side for life. The question of Leonardo's face has always fascinated the art world. Some historians have ventured to say that the face of the Vitruvian man, or that of the young man in the Adoration of the Magi, belongs to the artist. Recently, a drawing which might be a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci was found in the Codex on the Flights of Birds. However, this is all pure speculation. This is an enigma in which portrait and self-portrait, real and fake, face each other off in an endless game of mirrors. To solve this mystery, Nicola Barbatelli decides to call on experts in facial recognition analysis. Several studies are launched. One takes place in Spain, in association with Christian Galvez. This Spanish researcher is the author of a study on the evolution of pictorial representations of Leonardo's face.
I've been in touch with the group who are specialized in morphopsychology of the Civil Guard, the UCO. They are facial recognition experts. They decided to apply the morphology ability towards art, and in this precise case, to the Tavola Lucana, to Melzi's portrait, and the alleged self-portrait from Torino.
The faces are analyzed and compared to determine if there's morphological compatibility between the different portraits.
The man in the Windsor profile portrait and the one in the Lucan portrait are the same person. The only one that does not coincide with these images is the alleged self-portrait from Torino.
The faces represented on both the Lucan painting and Melzi's sketch look strangely similar. But how can one be sure that it is one and the same face? At Tallinn University, a 3D reconstruction experiment could provide proof. Orest Kormashov, director of the art history department, Helen Koch, a 3D designer, and Gianni Glini, consultant for the Lucan Museum, partner for this unprecedented research.
The comparison of Melzi's profile and the three-quarter Lucan portrait enabled us to identify the specific points between the two works which perfectly coincide and to create a 3D reconstruction of Leonardo's face.
In addition to the 3D reconstruction on the computer, Orest Kormashov tackled the modeling of Leonardo's face.
It was the idea to use different approaches. First, the classical one, that was in a form of sculpture, and the other was using the latest digital possibilities. Both absolutely different ways, and we were very curious if we come to the similar result.
A few days later, Gianni Glini came back to the university to discover the sculpture in 3D reconstruction. For the first time, Leonardo da Vinci's face appears in 3 dimensions, giving it an uncanny, realistic feel.
This is the first reconstruction of this kind on da Vinci's face. You could say we were able to see what Leonardo looked like, as though we recognized him if we ran into him in the street.